Hey friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Today is going to look a little bit different, so I am going to do an intro and just tell you a little bit about what to expect in the rest of my Art Journal daily journal for December, so stick around. What's up, friends? It's Jen with ChappyPlans. So this journal has served its purpose. It's almost, I cannot believe, the end of 2023. And I had mentioned quite a few times in previous videos that because life is crazy, I would like to combine my weeks together. And that's what I'm going to do for December. So this video is going to be weeks 48 and 49. I did want to include 47, but I had already started decorating, and to be honest with you, I just kind of wanted to be done with November's theme and put all those markers away and all those inks away and then get the ones that I wanted for December's color palette and scheme. So I didn't film it, but I'll show you. This is week 47. It's very similar to week 46, just different leaves. Right now I'm filming this video in October, so that's why there's no writing yet, but I use this thing every day. Like right now, today's the 18th, so you can see I haven't journaled in it yet. But this is week 47, the beginning of week 48, just bringing back those fun little doodles. And then this is an extra page, so I decided to turn it into a gratitude page, and there's a line for every day in the month that I can write something that I'm grateful for. I just stamped a couple of leaves at the top and the word gratitude with the same stamp font I've been using throughout November. I haven't created December's title page yet. That's going to be a reel. And I have already pre-sketched out my layouts for the month, very roughly. So I just wanted to let you guys know this video is weeks 48 and 49. And then on the 20th of December, I will have weeks 50, 51, and 52 all together. So I am going to speed up the camera now and do my voiceover. So as you can see, I've picked a very traditional Christmas theme for December. So we do celebrate Christmas in our home, so it made sense for me to choose that theme to document my daily shenanigans here in our house and in our lives, which are absolutely bananas crazy right now. And I'm sure it will be no less crazy as we approach holidays. So I've chosen more of a bright color palette, brighter reds, more magenta, like a brighter green, bright blue, all that kind of stuff. I thought that would be fun for this month, especially because it is so dark and dreary through the winter here in upstate New York. So sorry about my camera being a little bit crooked. I didn't realize that until later, which I will fix it at some point. But right now is not that time. So week 48 is actually split because it was the last 4 days of November and the first 3 days of December. And so because I like to have my themes, change from the first of the month on, I split up my weeks when that happens. So the last 4 days of November were that leafy mushroom theme, as I showed you in the beginning, and the first 3 days of December are Christmas. And so each tree will be a place where I journal. And at first I was really afraid of adding all this color to the page and not being able to see my writing, but I can totally see it. It's just fine. I just use a regular black gel pen and I have no issues reading my writing. So I was curious about that before because I had seen some other folks do it too. And I was like, how can they write on top of that and then see what they wrote? But it's no problem at all. So anyway, I decided to go with 3 different really sloppy doodle trees. And then I grabbed these December daily stamps from last year from Allie Edwards. Oh, there I go. I fixed the camera. And I really like the size of the alphas, but I also love the very minimal style. So now I'm going to stamp the correct day of the week, which is Friday the 1st, Saturday the 2nd, and Sunday the 3rd. I almost always screw that up when my weeks are split in half like this. Thank God for whiteout, right? And also thank God that this is just a fun project and not something that I need to make perfect. I don't care if letters are crooked, if I color outside the lines, if my trees don't look like real trees. I don't really care. It's just fun, and it's a great way for me to kind of zone out, get creative, and enjoy my, my stash, my markers. It's just the best. So these numbers are from Heidi Swap. And then after I get those things stamped out, I am going to color away. So the markers that I always use, at least in this journal, are Tombows. I like my Tombow dual brush pens, but Crayola Super Tips would be just fine if you were looking for a more budget-friendly option. And anything you have, honestly, would be fine. There's no, like, rhyme or reason to this. So the colors that I'm using, that one is 195, that bright green. And then I have a magenta color, and that one is 755. It's like it's almost red, but there is like a pink hue to it. And then I have 845, which is a bright reddish orange. 025, which is yellow. 296, which is that dark green I'm using. 515, which is the blue that I'll be using. 992, which is a very, like, it's almost like a khaki color. And then N35, which is a dark gray. I hardly ever use it, but I wanted to bring it in just in case. And so I'm just making these really fun, whimsical lights on the tree. They are super easy to make. You saw me just like doodle some sloppy like lines, and then off of those sloppy lines, I just added these little tiny, like, it's like a line with a teeny tiny circle, and I used my micron in a 02, so it was nice and thin, and then all I did was color a little circle right over that black tiny circle that I drew, so it looks like the inside of the light. It was really fun. And then this was kind of painstaking, having to go around each of these little lights that I colored in with the marker, but it's okay. Again, like, while I was doing this, I think Nora was doing her after school reading for me, so it was lovely to just sit and listen to her read her story. She was reading, what was it? Oh, She Persisted. Yeah, it's a story about like 13 different American women who like changed, the trajectory of history for us as women in America, in their professions, like, all that kind of good stuff. So anyhow, I got to listen to her read while I was coloring this in, so that was lovely. So this little tiered tree that I'm doing, I decided, in retrospect, I wish I had gone light to dark, but whatevs. I didn't come up with this idea until I was literally coloring in the tree, and I was like, oh well. So the lovely, amazing thing about Tombows is that you can layer them, and they will produce a darker version of the color that you have chosen. So you'll see that the bottom layer of this tiered tree is the regular shade of green, 195. And then the middle tree, I'm going to go over it again, and you're going to see that it creates a darker color than the bottom tier, which is super cool, I think. I think that's such a fun technique and way to get more out of your markers. And so, of course, they all have to have little stars at the tops. And you'll see, like, in the next couple of weeks that I'm going to use some of these same items that are on the tree, but use them in different ways for journaling. So I think that's kind of fun, too. I'm switching between the pink and the red shades on the candy canes on that bottom tree. And then I'm just going to go in and finish coloring the ornaments on this tree. And again, I didn't want to have like too many ornaments on that tree because I want to be able to see my writing. The one with all the lights might be a little tough. I might have to actually use, like, I don't know, a white gel pen or something. But to be honest with you, I don't anticipate tons of journaling in December just because, like, it's going to be a busy month. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe December 2nd will be bananas busy. I don't know. But I just added a few little presents at the bottom, and that's going to be it for this, like, not even a half week, less than half a week, in the beginning of this December month. I love this theme. Let me know, what kind of theme would you guys do if you were doing like your own little daily journal, or if you already have one, like what did you do, or what will you choose? Because I realize that I film way ahead, Yeah, it's mid-October, so, you know, it's a little bit funny for me to be imagining like Christmas themes right now, but in reality it's not that far off. Sorry, not sorry. So, moving on, week number 49. Brr, 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 brr. This week I have chosen to create a bunch of, you know, really sloppy, wonky presents, and that is going to be the way that I journal. So instead of having like a typical box or rectangle, or even a circle to do my journaling in, I was like, let me make these giant presents, and that will be, you know, what I keep my journaling in. And I think that's really fun and different. And yeah, it was just so much fun. Like, I love this project so much. And I actually did purchase another Art journal for next year. I was waiting for it to go on sale. You'll have to stay tuned and see. Actually, no, you will have seen by the time this video goes up. Dirt. This is what happens when you film super far ahead. You will have seen my journal, so I can share now because you maybe have already seen it if you watch my Flip Through Friday videos. But it's an 8x8, so I'm really intimidated but also excited to give this other size a shot. We shall see. It could be a total disaster, but I'm gonna give it a go. If I absolutely hate it, I can always switch it out and like get a B6 again, or B5, or whatever the heck size this is. So anyways, now that I have drawn over the top of my presents and roughly sketched in what I want, I'm going to use the different set of alphas to spell out the week, because I think that's really fun. And then I'm going to pull my numbers from Studio Calico to stamp the week number, because they're a little bit smaller than what I originally was going to use, the larger numbers that I was kind of looking at. And so I like the size of these better, and I'm just going to color them in. And so now you can see I'm just going to start stamping the days of the week abbreviated at the top, because I don't want to take up, you know, my precious journaling real estate with spelling out the day of the week. I know, I mean, even if I just did one letter, I would know what it represented. And honestly, now that it's a full week, I already know that it's Monday through Sunday, because that's just the way my brain has been working, which, P.S., should be very interesting. I guarantee you I will screw up my future plans in 2024, because I purchased a Sunday through Saturday weekly and monthly viewed planner for Laurel Denise. That's the main planner that I use. And for the last 4 years, I've been using a Monday to Sunday. So let's take bets now. Will Jen screw up her plans because of the different start day? Yeah, your girl's gonna mess it up. It's gonna be interesting. But anyways, I digress. So again, just abbreviated the dates. Isn't that font really neat and clean and tiny and just so perfect? It almost looks like, I don't know, like a nice, neat typewritten font. I really like it. And so there we go. We have the 4th through the 10th. I have all the functional parts down, and now I can get a little stamp happy. And I totally was winging this. Like, I didn't really have a plan for this. I wasn't like set on one thing or another. I just knew that I basically wanted present shapes to hold the journaling, and then the rest of it was just going to be what it was going to be. And so what I end up doing is pulling some little tiny Christmas-ish, whatever you want to say, little tiny element stamps to create like wrapping paper, I guess. That's sort of the vibe I was going for. Maybe that's not at all what it looks like, but that's okay. In my head, it's decorative paper, wrapping paper on the outside of these boxes. On some of them. Some of them I just left plain. So, those little bows and this big light bulb stamp come from Heidi Swap, and 2 different stamp sets. If they are available, I'll link them below. But I'm not sure if they are, because I don't subscribe to her anymore, so I'm not even sure if like these are one-off stamps you can buy or if they're part of a subscription. But again, if they're available, I'll definitely link them up for you. So I always go in like row-deep order in like from Monday to Sunday. That's just the way I like to organize my days of the week. It makes sense in my head. I have OCD, and so it works for me. And so then I just picked this little yellow like star burst snowflake shape, whatever you want to call it, and stamped yellow on that present. Oh, this is not Heidi Swap. That little star, by the way, is from Studio Calico. Again, we'll link it for you if I can find it. Oh, and I should mention the colors of my Distress Oxide inks. So that bright pink is Picked Raspberry, and the yellow is, I think, Mustard Seed. Yep, Mustard Seed, and these are all Distress Oxide inks. The green is Mowed Lawn. The black is just my Memento ink. And then I'm going to go in with my Tombos and fill in the presents that don't really have any stamping. So, and in the color of that Rose Jupe order, right? So like in my head, pink goes before red. Some people do red first and pink at the end. I always put pink before red. That's just the way it works in my head. So all I did was color in that crisscross on the top of the light bulbs, and then Tuesday was red, and then Wednesday was yellow. And again, like doing that stripe bow around that present, like on the, you see how it's like light yellow and then darker yellow? The darker yellow is literally just the doubled up yellow marker, like I showed you with the tree on the previous spread, or the previous week. So that's really cool. I just love that you can layer up your Tombow markers and get a totally different color. In hindsight, I should have stamped the bows with the blue, like the blue Ranger ink that I had selected previously, which is Salty Ocean. But I wasn't thinking, so I didn't, but it's fine. And the hearts, houses, and that little yellow burst, those are all from that same Studio Calico stamp set. I think they're just so cute. Speaking of so cute, that is going to be it for me for weeks 48 and 49 and the 47 that was in November that I showed you with the leaves. So now I'm going to go back and show you week 47, which was the last full week of November, week 48, which was split between November and December with the trees, and week 49 with the presents. Here's a little close-up of the trees in slow-mo. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was like 3 weeks together and with only 2 weeks actually being shown, but give me a thumbs up if you did. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for hanging out, sweet friends. Take care and remember that you are enough. Bye.